I'm Lindsay Lippman. Here are your headlines from Central Texas. Central Texas residents were in a frenzy over what some thought was an earthquake, but it was just military exercises. Fort Hood says this week B-52 bombers from an Air Force base in Louisiana are doing training flights. They say the training involves dropping 500-pound bombs. But why did we feel the bombs all the way in Temple? A Baylor science expert explains the science behind that.
Thunder can be very loud and cause vibrations and shaking in your home and things like that. But it's just sound waves. It's just air molecules vibrating and bumping into each other. And it may, surprise you or catch you off guard. But just realize it's just because you have the unique situation in the atmosphere that sets up to where you can hear those sounds better.
So there you have it. Colder weather causes noise to travel further and also makes it louder than usual. The shaking will happen all week as the exercises are planned to last through Friday. As a result, officials warn that Central Texans may see, hear, and feel increased military activity. The legal battle surrounding suspended Fort Hood OBGYN Major Blaine McGraw continues. Another law firm filed 7 federal complaints on behalf of alleged victims, claiming the Army failed to protect patients. As those cases move forward, a Texas law is showing it can help families in cases like this one. Juliana Jackson spoke with the state lawmaker who authored the invasive recording bill and explains how it applies to this case.
State Representative Hillary Hicklin saw a gap in the law.
Invasive visual recording is a sexual crime in the penal code, but the offenders were not required to be listed on the sex offender registry.
House Bill 1465 took effect in September. Now, anyone convicted of invasive visual recording must register as a sex offender for life, even if they move.
We will be protecting victims and also future victims by requiring offenders to be listed on that registry.
The law also expands protections to medical settings where patients expect privacy during exams. That makes it directly relevant to the case against former Fort Hood OBGYN Major Blaine McGraw. The Army has filed 64 charges against the 47-year-old OBGYN. 44 victims are named in the military case, but more than 100 women have come forward with their allegations against McGraw.
Victims who would expect a place of trust and healing put in harm's way and without their knowledge.
It's caught the attention of Texas congressional leaders. Congressman John Carter and August Pfluger, along with Senators John Cornyn and Ted Cruz, are demanding answers from the Army's Inspector General in a congressional letter. The letter calls for an independent investigation into McGraw and the Army's handling of the case. Hicklin says she's willing to look at additional protections, including potential chaperone requirements in medical settings.
Texas is always going to move forward with looking for ways to support our military, protect victims of these types of crimes. It's something that we take seriously.
McGraw remains in pretrial confinement at the Bell County Jail. Meantime, Texas State Technical College is taking flight into the future of aviation training. The college unveiled a new fleet of aircraft designed to better prepare students for careers in the airline industry while also strengthening the region's workforce pipeline. TSTC's Aircraft Pilot Training Program is debuting 5 new Piper Pilot 100I airplanes. The aircraft are the latest additions to the program's growing fleet and will be used by both students and certified flight instructors. Flight instructor Ryan Hermes says the older training aircraft relied on traditional 6-pack steam gauges, technology that's disappearing from commercial aviation. The new Piper aircraft will more closely resemble what pilots will encounter in airline cockpits. Hermes says this new fleet is a major step forward for students' growth.
Transitioning to this plane, because I have to teach out of it now, I didn't realize how many things that I'm starting to learn and how much that's transitioning to the 121, part 121, the commercial lifestyle. Again, this is going to be something that's going to make their transition a lot easier. I do think situational awareness is going to be increased to where you're focusing on older equipment that won't show you where traffic is, doesn't have a moving map. These are all things that are aids towards the student and helps their flying ability.
With more advanced equipment and industry-aligned training, TSTC hopes the new fleet will not only elevate students' success, but also position Central Texas as a hub for aviation workforce development. And those are your headlines from Central Texas.